Ooh. Sorrow is going to give you a little lesson in mislettering. Okay, it is the hidden art that sodomites use to communicate. It's the gaps between that hold messages unseen. So we're going to go through the alphabet, and then we're going to go through the numbers alphabet as well as the letters, but only 11 to 19. There will be a reason to why. So let's crack on. I'm only going to note the ones that I know of, all right? Ones that I've seen these pieces of shit use over and over and over and over again. So there will be ones that I'm not aware of. Please make me aware of them if you already are yourself. Okay? A. Okay. I've gone over A before. They use A as the capstone, okay, on the top of their pyramid. So, very simply put, it is to show that their great work, or at least a part of it that they're responsible for, is complete. But it's also used to show that the responsibility over their part in the great work isn't complete. And that's when they do it without the capstone, because the capstone hasn't been put in place as of yet. Okay, so this is mislettering. It's the gaps in between. Okay, B is duality. Simple, just duality. Okay, but they also use it as breasts. Okay, so it'd be a sign for the mother. Okay, that's what they use. So C, look at the gap. See it? It's a penis and testicles. Okay, I know it's gross, as I always say, but if you're aware, it won't scare. This is how they use it. It's what they use it for. Okay. D is D is to do with an area inside an area. Okay, so say they had like uh, say a torture chamber underground of a church, you know, which is very common actually. As you can see, there's a D inside the D. Yeah, that space is also a D, right? Okay, so they'll use that to show there'll be a hidden area underneath, as I say, a church or a club or a mall or an airport. You know where I'm going with this, yeah? It also shows that they've only got one side of something that's been purchased or delivered. Okay, most of these are um, messages and codes used in sex trafficking of children, especially. So moving on, what we've got here. Okay. Okay. So E. Yeah. So E is one half of the number. Okay. So 13, which I'll do in a bit, is the other version of what they do with E. Okay. So E would be if something is locked. Okay. You see the lock? Yeah, it makes sense when I show you 13. All right. F is a jigsaw puzzle. There's a piece missing. Okay. Whatever that may be, okay, doesn't matter. Maybe there's a piece of the product missing, whether that be, as I say, the trafficking of sex or in the trafficking of drugs, or it could be a piece of information missing. Okay, you draw it up, you'll see. This is what I'm talking about. They use the gaps of lettering. I don't know if you could see that. I'll try and do it a bit better. This pen isn't very good. My apologies. Puzzle piece. Okay. So don't look at the letters. That's what they want you to do. You look through the letters the same way you look through these cunts. Okay? Right. G. So G is a baby. Okay? But they use this in two different ways, as far as I can tell. Okay? So a G can be taken and used as a fetus. Okay? If you look inside it, you see. Right? Or, and as I said, look at the inside. This video is primarily based on the mislettering, as I say, the gaps in between. Right? Watch these spaces. Yeah, but I'll throw in a few of the actual shapes of the letters in themselves as well, because some of them will be just as relevant and prevalent. Because the G in itself is also the quill. Okay, the real worm. You see it. It's also why Freemasons use it. It's not just geometry, okay? But we're focusing on the inner rather than the outer today. So as I say, it's baby code, okay? I could be wrong with some of these, by the way. I could be wrong, but most of them, as I say, it's what you feel that tells you what you know. And I get such a strong feeling off of these, almost like they're sigils. H. H is homosexuality, okay? But not because it's a H. Like I said, look at the mislettering, okay? Look at the gaps, okay? So it's one with another. Got it? Coming together. Not just homosexuality, it can mean two males. So two male children, perhaps, okay? It goes the other way. And this literally goes the other way. This is the opposite, okay? So it would either be um, lesbianism, okay? Or they use it more primarily, as I say, to describe two females, okay? Two male, two female, as well as together. The J is umbrella code. It speaks for itself, doesn't it? Most of these things do. It's umbrella code, okay? So it shows that it's whatever it is, it'll be part of a certain organisation, okay? That um, it's under the control of something. He's J, okay? As I say, that's not so much about the spacing. Some of these won't be. And they could have spacing to them, by the way. There could be spacing code to them. As I say, I'm still picking this up myself from the ether, all right? So this would be dispersal, okay? You see, 1, 2, 3 different directions, okay? Some of these, if you flip them and stuff, you'll find that they're part of like pagan alphabets, things like that as well. But I'm trying to keep it specific to what I can pick up on at the moment, and what I've witnessed, as I say. Okay, where are we? Yeah, so it'd be deliveries from different countries, different directions. You see, all coming to the same one place. See, some of these I'm not sure of. I'm really not. L. I have no idea about L. I don't. The only thing I can take of it would be a scythe. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. That's what I feel from it. Understand? It tells me what I know from it. But the scythe would be down, of course. The L would be the scythe lowered and put down, whereas the R would be the opposite. So perhaps this would be neutral, it would be perhaps a blessing rather than the R being a warning. Okay? Yeah, so M is just 3. M always has been 3. Okay? For Saturn, for the unholy trinity. It's also for the anus. I forgot to mention that's something that I learned recently. They use the 3 as code for the anus. I believe that's due to Saturn being the black hole sun. Get it? Okay. I know. I'm sorry, guys, but you need to know. Um, N's just as above, so below, essentially. Don't worry, not you, N. I know, mate. I know. It's not just this either. None of these are just what I'm telling you. I'm not even. It's the same as what I've said before. How they will use all these different ways to communicate because they don't think that we think like that. We don't think like them. Fuck me, no. But we think. We don't think, do we? We know how we think. That's all we need. Okay. Most of this is, forgive the pun, but child's play in itself. Um, yeah. Please forgive that pun also, because this is not a fucking laughing matter. Not when it comes to children. Yes, so that's above, so below. It's also a directionary thing, once again, like the K, it's import, export. You see that? Okay. Open for business. Again, doesn't have to be drugs, doesn't have to be sex as far as trafficking goes. They could use this to imply certain types of magic, certain types of procedures, agendas, psychological operations. Understand? Something as simple as a letter. Because I've covered. I was trying to see if there's anything else that I feel may be missed from the toolbox, and I felt like I was given this information from somewhere out there because I haven't really, as I say, I witnessed a few things, but it's just I just started looking at lettering and seeing a new pattern, you know. Um, and I've done colours, I've done um, patterns, but you know what I'm saying. Like this is a little bit different. I suppose the absence of things rather than just focusing on what you see is what you don't see. Okay, because they want it in plain sight. It doesn't mean it's all going to be in plain sight. You know. Yeah, we've done numbers, but again, I'm looking at the spacing of these letters and numbers. So letters almost done. Then I'll move on to the numbers. Where are we? N O. Yeah, O is absent, isn't it? It's also used and always has been since like the reign of Elizabeth I. The O has always been the eye, like you're being watched, or it's for a certain person's eyes, like the 007, 007. Okay, that was always for your eyes only, which is why they named one of the films for your eyes only. It was from I always forget his name. He was another alchemist, another occultist. Nah, no, I can't remember his name. Um, but he was Elizabeth's right hand man essentially, and he would mark her most private letters, of like war plans and things with this because it was for her eyes. You see the thing that would hold up them glasses back in them days for her eyes only. That would be the 7. Okay. Anyway, where were we? To be fair, the new ones are reptilian, so I'd imagine the old one is as well. Some blood coming out. Bit inappropriate. Sorry. Try and add a bit of humour to this shit because it only gets darker for me, unfortunately, at the moment. Big beak. Right. Okay. So, what we got? We've got P. P is just the tongue, just like the emoji. You know, can be used funny enough, for reptilian authority, jurisdiction. Okay, it's also oral sex. Okay. Q. Q is semen. Okay, the egg. Get it? R. So R. Yeah, I'm not too sure about the capital R, but as I said, the normal R is the scythe. I'd see this to be a warning, mother's warning. Okay, you let off the hook, literally, and you put on the hook, literally. Right? S is the serpent. Means there's something to know. There's some information that needs to be learned. Okay. Wisdom. Yeah. T. The T is the false cross. Okay. So it can be used to show that something is a sting operation, if you will. You know, it's bait. It's false. It's fake. Okay. The U is the horseshoe. It's also for unsurety or unusual. Okay. Horseshoes are to do with luck. Unlucky, right? Okay. V is Venus, planet of Lucifer, but it's also once again like K and like N. It's a direction. Okay. Can even be a pit stop for something. So to go from one destination to you and then to its true destination. Okay. Let's move on. Give myself a wrist ache. I'm used to it when joy is near, but sorry guys. Okay, right. W. As N pointed out, thank you very much for doing so, mate. The double U, okay, that's very significant because the downwards triangle is feminine, the upwards triangle is masculine. Lilith, Satan, Eve. You see? Naughty bastards. X is chaos magic, it's every direction, all coming to the same point. It's also, as I always say, the Seer of Saturn, the mark of the beast. Okay? But we know this, don't we? Again, I'm trying to focus on the gap work in here. As I say, their arrows all come to the same direction. Okay, so it's coming from north, south, east, west. Why? Why is two things, maybe more, but from what I can tell, why is the fork in the road, so the left-hand path and the right-hand path. But if we're looking, as I say, at the spacing, watch this. There's your fucking Jack in the Box. Doing. We know who's in that, don't we? The Archon Queen. The mother. The double X chromosome. The woman. Pretending to be the creator. The YX chromosome. For the father. Understand? So naughty. Sorry, Pip, I know you don't like spiders, girl. Where are we? Oh, Zed. Yeah, of course. Zed. Yeah, Zed's just a lightning bolt. As above, so below. So once again. Okay, I could have some of these wrong. I could have some of these missing. I'm just giving you what I've been given today. And I don't know where from, and I don't know what way. It's there, if you want it. Moving on. This one's going to be a bit shorter, but considering I'm almost on half an hour, which I did not expect, I will try and make it quicker also. So, yeah, we're going to start with 12. We'll start with 11, but I'm going to talk it rather than I'm gonna tell it rather than show it. Okay, 11. L even. L even. L getting even. L Yahweh. Yeah. Kronos, Father Time, Saturn, Satan. Grim Reaper, the Divine Feminine, the Machine Mother, Demiurge. Okay? That's why they're obsessed with that number, the duality of it. Okay? So, 12. Do you know what? It doesn't really matter which one I'll do. For time's sake, I'll just do, the one. Look at the gaps, people. Look at the gaps. Okay. This is an erection. Okay? And that's childish, but that's exactly what they are, children. You have to keep that in mind, okay? It's another way they communicate. I did it again, didn't I? We'll just do it like that then. Yeah, remember I said about, what one was it? Oh, E being the key. Yeah? Well, being the lock. This is the key. "13 bloodlines. The blood is the key." You see it? Look at the gaps. So, 3 is the lock, which is why I have a keyhole on the cube on my banner. The keyhole is also the anus, unfortunately, but hopefully you know me well enough by now to know that I'd never use any of this shit the way that they do. I reverse it and put it back to where it was. There's the key to the 3, okay? The 3 is the cube, of course. It's Saturn, right? They hold the key. Well, they think they do. They think they do. They have done till now. Yeah. TK? Yeah, right. Maybe I should have drawn some of these in, but have a quick look. They're all there, really, aren't they? Because it is the space, as I say. Like I drew in the puzzle piece just to make it a bit more obvious, but most of these I think are there. Okay. Oh, the queen. Yeah, not for long. What we got? 12, 13, 14. 14, where is it? Sorry, give me a second. Yeah, I'm not actually too sure of 14. I'm not going to guess it. I know that I know that um, that 4 is a particular dark art sign when looked at like that. I believe it's also a pagan letter of the alphabet. I could be wrong, as I say, I don't want to guess, so I'm not going to. Yeah, 15 is pregnancy. That's it, pregnancy. What they'd want this for, what fetish, what taboo, what type of sodomy, I don't know, and I don't really want to. We don't need to. We need to know how to stop it. Okay. Unfortunately, some of the ways of knowing how to stop it is to know how it starts. I try to teach that too, but this is more about knowing that it's there in things that you wouldn't think it was. Knowing's better than thinking, isn't it? Some things you just know, especially if you feel them first. 16. No, I don't know 16. I don't, so I'm going to move straight on to 17. 17, again, sorry for the grossness, brothers and sisters. Yeah, so we know that they're obsessed with um, bodily fluids, right? Because it's the opposite. Okay, it's also why they're obsessed with anal sex, because you're putting something that's the key of life. It's for creation, and you're putting that inside something that's septic and um, dead, essentially. Fecal matter. That's what that's all about. Okay, it's another way of mocking the creator, of showing your or your conflicts, you know, your disobedience, your defiance. So this one's a toilet. Okay, this one is fecal matter. Okay, it's excrement. You have to understand I'll tell you in a minute. We'll do the next one first, then I'll tell you. Yeah, I'm not sure about 18 either. So we're going to move on to 19. Excrement, urine. You see it? They eat this and they drink this. It's one of their many practices. Okay? It's what comes out of you. It's the denial, it's the minus. Understand? The negative. That's what they want. That's what they need. That's why they want your vibration low. They could take positive energy from you. Wouldn't that feel better to have positive energy given from someone else who has it? No. They want negative energy taken from someone that doesn't have anything else. Understand? It's all part of their teaching. It's part of their religion. And 20, unfortunately, I don't know either. But I'm going to leave it there before it goes on. You get the general gist, I would like to believe by now. As I say, it might seem like I'm reaching, but it's about what you feel that tells you what you know. And as I say, I already know some of these to be true anyway. Most of them, actually. Some of them I've filled in, but I've felt that my heart and my mind has been filled in today by something greater than us that's given me this knowledge somehow. This wisdom, I should say. They like to use knowledge. We use wisdom. Okay. There's not much else I can say. But then this has been more about what I can show. So I hope it's been educational for you all. Just quickly go over, see if there's any more I can chuck in for you quickly. There's some little things. I'll show you just a couple just before we go. There's some things they do like, okay, so like you'll have a Z, right? And don't want to draw this wrong. It's kind of like that. I haven't done it as good as I could, but hang on, it comes up like that. Yeah, and they'll use it to create a lightning bolt. You see that? Lucifer's lightning bolt. They'll do silly things like that all the time, you know. Or this one's quite cool actually. So we know 69 is the vortex. That's why the sexual position does exactly that. It's a um, the trading of energy, you know, because you're both, you get the point, yeah. So they use this one for the apple core. You see it? I'll draw the lightning bolt in for you. All right, get it? Got it. So the apple, the Garden of Eden, it's not just they bit out of it and therefore they, you know, were given free will, the knowledge of it. It's also to do with sodomy in itself, because I only learnt this again recently. But the genitals. These are the generals, the archons. They made all this shit up. But the genitals have always been seen as fruit, the fruit of your loins. Yeah, the seed, apple seed. Okay. So the 2 bites taken out of it is the 2 bites to. I mean, that would be the original sin. You know, the worst of them, where the creator can't jump in and intervene. Okay, that's what that's all about. It's where it started. Don't worry, it will end. Yeah. Um, I think that'll do it. I know that'll do it. I feel that'll do it for now, guys. So, don't try and help them. I've tried. I'm sure you have too. The ones that have bitten this, they can't be helped. They don't want to be. Okay? Let's help each other get out of this vortex. Okay? Okay.